What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
The government is rightly and systematically tightening the screws on drunk drivers. First, in 2019, drivers who fled the scene of an accident will be penalized in the same way as drunk drivers, previously illegal. GAP allowed fugitives to receive a lenient punishment. Then, in the same year, Article 264 of the Criminal Code was amended the same year to increase the penalties for drunk drivers who cause an accident with death or injury. Well, today's changes concern those who, after committing a criminal offence under Article 264, got behind the wheel drunk again. Article 264.1 of the Criminal Code previously provided for increased penalties for repeated drunk driving. But earlier this punishment was the same for those who were caught drunk at the wheel again, and for those who arranged a traffic accident with dead or injured. Now the federal law from 1.07, 2021 N258 increased the punishment for the second category. Taking into account the amendments, the following punishment options are possible. A fine in the amount of 300 to 500,000 rubles. Previously, 200 to 300,000 rubles, or in the amount of the wages or other income of the convicted person for a period of 2 to 3 years, previously, 1 to 2 years, with deprivation of the right to hold certain positions or engage in certain activities for up to 6 years, previously, up to 3 years, correctional labour for a period of up to 2 years, previously, compulsory labour for up to 480 hours, with deprivation of the right to hold certain positions or engage in certain activities for up to 6 years, restriction of freedom for up to 3 years, previously there was no such option, with deprivation of the right to hold certain positions or engage in certain activities for up to 6 years, forced labour for up to 3 years, previously, up to 2 years, with deprivation of the right to hold certain positions or engage in certain activities for up to 6 years, previously, up to 3 years, imprisonment for up to 3 years, previously, up to 2 years, with deprivation of the right to hold certain positions or engage in certain activities for up to 6 years, previously, up to 3 years. Increasing fines and sentences by 1.5 times should reduce the number of offenders. Let's see if the statistics will improve and if new initiatives like confiscation of a car from drunk drivers before the fine is paid, or full confiscation in case of repeated offence will be adopted in the foreseeable future. Government Resolution Number 832 of July 12, 2017. Thanks to it, as early as in 2018, the traffic rules introduced the concepts of hybrid car, electric car, as well as zone width, restriction of the ecological class of motor vehicles, and new road signs designating these zones. But then, 3 years ago, the rules prohibited entry into the zones with ecological class limitation only for cars whose class indicated in the documents was lower than the one indicated on the sign. But now, from July 1, 2021, entry into zones with restriction of ecological class is prohibited for cars whose ecological class is not specified in the registration documents. Simply put, cities may have no-go zones for old cars that do not have the ecological class column in their documents. Taking into account that for 3 years nothing has changed globally, and the average age of the car fleet in Russia is more than 13 years, and in some regions has exceeded 20 years, a fair share of cars will be banned. It is worth noting, however, that so far the new signs are not found on the streets. But this does not mean that in the foreseeable future in large cities will not appear additional methods of restriction on entry to the centre. And in conclusion, let's consider the situation with technical inspection and MTPL insurance, which formally took shape not in July, but even earlier, in June. We have not had time to get used to passing technical inspection according to the new, often formally impossible rules as it was abolished. At least, that is what many people thought when they heard the phrase technical inspection was made optional. In fact, it was not abolished at all and did not even make its passage voluntary, but only excluded the presence of a diagnostic card as a mandatory condition for the purchase of a policy of CMTPL insurance. To be precise, Article 4 of the new Law No. 343 of 2.07, 2021 excluded from Paragraph 3 of Article 16, Paragraph 3 of the Law No. 196 on road safety, the proposal that the conclusion of a contract of CMTPL insurance is carried out only on condition of technical inspection. This decision, although it seems to be an indulgence for drivers, is largely forced. The fact is that the operators of technical inspection were not ready for the introduction of new norms of this procedure, and in order to avoid queues and collapse, the government postponed the start of the new technical inspection until October 1st, extending the validity of diagnostic cards expiring on March 1st until September 30th. However, all this in sum provoked another legal conflict. Now all those who have technical inspection expired after March 1st cannot pass it until October 1st. But control over the passing of technical inspection, including with the help of cameras of automatic photo-video fixation, and a fine of 2,000 rubles for its absence will be introduced only from March 1, 2022, and MTPL policy can be bought without a diagnostic card. It is easy to assume that many drivers after October 1st will not be in a hurry to pass technical inspection, hoping for impunity until March 1st next year. The most far-sighted, of course, will get a diagnostic card, not wanting to stand in huge queues after the introduction of fines. But how many such responsible drivers there will be and how this will affect the work and income of inspection operators before spring is an open question. In conclusion, July brings significant changes for motorists that aim to enhance road safety and streamline regulations. With the introduction of new dignities and tightening measures, drivers will need to stay informed and adapt to these updates. By understanding these changes, motorists can ensure compliance and contribute to safer roads for everyone. Stay vigilant, drive responsibly, and keep an eye on future developments that may impact your driving experience. Thank you for watching, and safe travels.